Next is the toggler swatch. And I'd say the toggler swatch is probably worth the price of admission to the swatch pack. This swatch is just really cool. It allows you to do some really awesome stuff. I'm super excited to see what people build with this. Okay. And essentially what it allows you to do is it allows you to, we've built demos where if you hover over something with a swatch, you can apply hover styles and change the styles based on hover. If you hover over the element itself, right? And with 6.8, if you watched the live stream last week, we showed how you can even go a little step farther and you can actually trigger styles by hovering on a parent. Okay. Really cool stuff. But this toggler stack takes it to a new level. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to define events. When you hover over something, you can animate something completely different on the page, right? So, and you can do it on click or on hover. So here's an example. If I click this button, I can toggle a class and basically apply a style. And this one allows me to do it on hover. So when you hover on something, you can style something different, right? I mean, this is a very generic idea, but we can do so much with this. It's really, really, really powerful. Okay. I'm really excited to see what you guys do with this. Toggler. First off, let's go over really quickly. I'm going to breeze through this toggler. So I have this class called toggler demo that is styled somehow. Oh, okay. So if you notice here, this box has a default style where it's gray. It doesn't, the icon is invisible. And when we hover over it, when we add that toggler, when we add a particular class to this toggler demo, it then turns blue with white text and we have an icon. So pretty cool there, right? Okay. So let's look at that. So let's look at the default styles for toggler or for this toggler demo. Okay. So toggler demo is the class. So here we have toggler demo. It is, we have a gray background. Okay. Hold on. I should have organized this a little bit better, I guess. Okay. Okay. We'll back up. Let's look at the toggler stack. Okay. Let's explain the toggler swatch first. And this could be a little confusing until you actually implement it. Okay. Because there's a few different things that you need to define. There's 3 different classes being used here. First off, what do we want to target? So at the top of the toggler swatch, we want to target toggler demo. Okay. And that's exactly what we talked about. This is our target. This is what we want to style differently. Okay. Then if we look down here, we have trigger. Okay. And the trigger, this is the external element that will trigger the toggle event. So here I have a trigger class of clicker. Okay. The action is going to be click. You can also have options to only trigger something once, and you can also toggle only child elements. Essentially what that means is you can toggle only children elements of the trigger itself. Can you lock them in the laundry room? Gardener came. Dogs went nuts. Sorry, everybody. Okay. So in this case, the trigger element here is a button that has the class of clicker. And whenever I click this, it's going to trigger toggler. Okay. Again, that's the trigger element. Okay. And the last setting here is the toggle class. This is the class that is going to get added to this element in order to style it differently. Okay, so once I click on this element here, let's show this to you live in the browser. Let's find that element here. Make this bigger. Okay. This is the element. You'll notice this has the toggler demo. Okay, this is it. Now, when I click this button, what you'll notice is it now has a class of toggled. This toggled class did not exist before. By adding that toggled class, it's applying additional styles from other swatches to this container, making it look different. And it also triggers animations, all with swatches. And if I click it again, that toggle class is gone. By removing that toggled class, it now reverts to the default styles. Now, had I, inside the swatch, set this trigger once setting, once a class is added, it won't remove it. So it only allows you to, it'll add it one time, but then it'll never remove it, right? So that's good for certain scenarios. But this is very powerful. This allows us to add classes dynamically on the fly via either clicks or hovers on other elements. So let's dive into the swatches that were used to make this. Okay, I should notice I have two togglers here. This second one targets the same thing, although this time I use a trigger class of hoverer. That's a horrible word, hoverer. And in this one, instead of being an action of click, it's an action of hover. Okay, and then it toggles the same exact class. And then that is added to this button. So here on this particular button, this hover demo button, I added the class hoverer. And that will then do the same thing that the click button does. Okay, so let's look at some of these things here. Toggler demo. So this is just the straight up toggler demo. It has a background of gray. That's the default style. Okay. Now you'll notice I added something a little bit different, and this is something you're just kind of have to know. Okay. So here, if we look at the class, I have toggler demo dot toggled. Okay. By adding that dot toggled on there, I am going to override the gray with this blue color when something has the class of toggler demo and toggled. Now remember, this toggled is the class that you add inside the toggler swatch. So whatever class is here is what you would add here. Okay. Same thing, text colors. I have a text colors swatch. I'm going to change the colors to be white when I have the toggled class added to the demo. Then I have the transition, which basically, does the transition of the animations. Here I have a transform that, if you notice, when I trigger the transform, this box gets bigger. Well, that's all done with this transform. So when I have the toggled class on there, I scale that by 10%. I do 1.1 scale. So again, when it's toggled, I'm doing a lot of things here. So this is a very involved thing. I'm changing background colors. I'm changing text colors. We're transforming it, right? Making it zoom and kind of pop out. Now let's look at that icon, right? This icon isn't there by default, but it shows when I trigger it. So let's look at that icon. That icon there, I have the toggler icon class on it. Okay. And by default, I set that to be an opacity of 0. So by default on page load, it's invisible. Then I added another opacity swatch that when the parent class is toggled, so when the demo that is above it is toggled, make the trigger icon have an opacity of 1. Again, so when we add the toggled class to the little toggle demo, the icon says, oh, hey, I see my parent has the toggled class, so I'm going to let you see me now. And there we go. Then I added transition swatch to the icon so that it actually fades in and fades out. I also, another thing that you don't necessarily notice, I forgot I actually did that. Oops, that broke for some reason. I remember what I did wrong. Shoot, I changed this. I forgot to update this. What we can do here is I can actually rotate that on hover, right? So here, hold on one second. Let's just set that to be. Let's do like. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is, man, glad I found this. So here I'm adding a rotation of 135 degrees, and then when we hover over, so basically when we toggle it, it'll rotate back to 0. So here, let's preview that. Let's remove this. So there we go. So now the icon actually, if you notice, the icon spins while it's fading in. That's pretty fun. Right before I shipped this, I changed some of these options and I broke the existing implementation. So I need to fix that and I'll update the project. So there you go. Pretty cool though, right? Yeah, that's a nice little touch, having that not only fade in the icon, but also spin it in. Pretty cool. I like that. So that's Toggler, right? Toggler is, again, very, very powerful. Okay.